Yeah, good afternoon, dear customers. I'm Rishi Dhariwal. I look after branch banking at AU Small Finance Bank. We thank you for your patronage to AU Bank over the last 4 years, which has made AU Bank as the largest small finance bank in the country. We have been providing you end-to-end solutions for your savings, investments, insurance, spends, and payments needs. And our partnership with Motilal Oswal Financial Services enables you to invest with the best local brokerage house in India. Uh, Investing, share prices actually go up and down, and market sentiments fluctuate from one day to the other. But to ace the stock market space, one needs discipline, patience, and the right temperament, skills which Ramdevji has aced during his lifetime, which allow him to never lose sight of the objective big picture and facts at hand on the business, on the industry, and on the Indian and global economy while making his iconic investments. And these are the key qualities which we hope to imbibe in our retail investments clients based at AU Bank through such webinars and information sessions. Ramdev ji is the chairman and co-founder of Motilal Oswal Group and is the driving force behind the company's approach to investing. Founded in 1987, Motilal Oswal is a well-diversified financial services firm focused on Indian equity capital markets and research. As chairman of its asset management business, Motilal Oswal Asset Management Company, Ramdevji has framed the QGLP, quality, growth, longevity, and favorable price investment framework, and its buy right, sit tight investment philosophy. He is the driving force behind the group's highly awarded research and has authored the annual Motilal Oswal Wealth Creation Study since its inception in 1996. Ramdevji is a chartered accountant and an associate of the Indian Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and a member of the National Committee on Capital Markets of the Confederation of Indian Industry. He has also featured in The Wizards of Dalal Street on CNBC TV 18. In 1986, he wrote the book Corporate Numbers Game along with co-author Mr. Ram K. Piparia. He has also authored the book The Art of Wealth Creation, which compiles insights from his 22 wealth creation studies. Ramdevji has been awarded the Rashtriya Samman Patra by the Central Board of Direct Taxes for his consistent track record of highest integrity. Ramdevji has been awarded as the Chhattisgarh Citizen of the Year in 2018 at Chhattisgarh Excellence Awards at the hands of Honorable CM of Chhattisgarh, Dr. Raman Singh. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome Ramdevji to share his thoughts about investing with us today. We are also joined in this webinar by Sri Sanjay Agarwal, who is the MD and CEO of AU Small Finance Bank and a rank holder chartered accountant. I also have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Uttam Tibrewal, who is the Executive Director of AU Small Finance Bank and who leads all the personal financing, personal banking businesses at AU Small Finance Bank. So, with that as a brief introduction, I would request Sanjay to sort of take the conversation forward with Ramdevji for today's session.
Great. Thanks, Rishi. Good afternoon to everybody. I personally welcome you all, especially Ramdevji and entire MO team for allowing us to listen his knowledge-based thought process during this session. Ramdev sir, we started building this bank from 2017 onwards, and before that we remained NBFC for 22 years. And this last 4 years has been a roller coaster ride for us. Of course, first 3 years was a fantastic one from 17 to 20. And last 15 months, we all know that the way we are handling this crisis, this unprecedented event, and banking is the forefront in actually taking all these things head on, And but in these 4 years, Ramdev sir, with the help of our esteemed customer who are on the call and with the employees who are on the call, we have built a base of 2 million customers, with an asset of now close to 50,000 crores, with a deposit base of close to 35,000 crores. Before this pandemic, we were known as one of the best managed asset quality bank in terms of our profile of customers. And being an SFB, sir, our design is around a Robin Hood story where we need to raise money from people like you and have given to the core markets kind of thing. And we are really proud of our whole business model, and we are very thankful to RBI and the whole government of India to allow us to do this in this country, which require this kind of banks and this kind of platforms to have real kind of growth. And and I've been your student for last 12 years. So, and that, nobody can take away that the way I have learned from you. For me, you are those personality who can inspire, who can actually build entrepreneurship in this country. And I am the example of it. We were not so good before we met you, but post meeting you, the whole landscape, whole mindset completely changed. And I hope by today's call, you'll be changing a lot of people's perception about India's story. I've already gone through this presentation twice, so I know how excited will be people after this call. But sir, before the start, because people are not here to listen to me, actually people are here to listen to you. But there are certain eminent questions which comes to everybody's mind. So I'm speaking on behalf of all the listeners on this call. That sir, where we are heading, as an economy, as a country, post-pandemic, because we are largely a self-employed based country, so, and businesses are hit because of two lockdowns. So how do you see this whole economy landscape in next, for the near term and of course in the long term? How do you see this, how the whole SMEs and MSMEs and the general public deal with this unprecedented, or I would say, which is the visibility is not there, sir, whether the second layer will come, not come, or maybe third wave actually, to be very honest, and how people actually conduct themselves in this uncertainty. Because if there is a lot of uncertainty in the environment, how we will bring this certainty to our businesses, And one most important question, sir, जो सभी पूछेंगे, लेकिन मैं पहले पूछ लेता हूँ कि what is that which is seen by stock market, not by general public, Why stock market is so bullish, when everything is going down and down, why stock market is going up and up, So वो एक $1 million question है, sir, जिसका आपको जवाब आज देना ही पड़ेगा. And, and how, you believe that a person like us, see beyond today's challenges, what is there for us to see beyond challenges as of now? And I will ask you in between also, sir, because there are many questions in my mind, and I haven't met you last 6-7 months, so there's a full of questions which in our mind. So I'll ask you during the interaction, but I won't take much of your time because people are really eager and must be very anticipating you to speak and explain them about the whole "Don't Bet Against India" story, which you have built in last 1 year time. So over to you, sir, and I personally welcome you again.
Thanks, Sanjay. So should we start? Should I start answering your question now?
No, sir. I think you can answer this in while your presentation.
So I'll try to weave into the presentation.
Yes, sir. You can start with the presentation first, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, friends. It's a pleasure to be really, speaking to all the customers of AU. You cannot imagine you are, how special you are for me. So I have seen rise of this bank, rise of this NBFC, and the rise of this bank. And so it is one of the biggest dream stories so far And I think even bigger dream story going to be in next 10, 15, 20 years. Because this, I mean, we have seen nothing. I would say just about the plant has just come out of the ground. And the huge tree, I mean, banana tree, of the largest size is going to be made. And I mean, it's a journey. A huge tree is not built over in a day or 2 days or even 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. They become so big, and under that tree, so many people, the entire economy, all the entrepreneurs, all the depositors, all the customers, all the stakeholders, everybody, gets some benefit or other. So, it becomes a larger than life kind of a role is there. Look at SBI, what SBI is. I have seen making of HDFC Bank from day one. The HDFC Bank used to have headquarters right in front of my home, and I'm still in the same building. I think they just completed 25th year, and today they have become one of the most admired bank in the world. Not only in India, they are the most admired. Everybody wants to be next HDFC, but I can tell you, next HDFC is HDFC Bank only. So it's a very interesting business. It is not everybody's cup of tea to do this business. It looks very simple, but most difficult to execute. And your bank is blessed with a team of Sanjay and his friends who have traveled so far. And I'm sure they know how to walk through this jungle and climb the mountains. So I think they have done very difficult part of it, particularly the last 4 years. When you go from NBFC to bank, when you come under major oversight from RBI, and they're always skeptical with the new guys. So passing these 4 years is, and getting their accolades is a big thing. And after that, you keep building. It's a cumulative advantage. Actually, even with relations with RBI or regulator is also a cumulative advantage. I mean, you can, as the year passes, you can get away with a lot of things which you could not at the beginning. So I think it is going to be a very interesting journey. We'll talk about banking in my presentation. It comes. We'll talk about banking and what are my thoughts about that. But let's look at the bigger picture. Don't bet against India. Why I'm saying this. I started my career in 1980, and that time index was 100. Today it is 52, 53,000. I have seen the index moving to 530 times in my own lifetime. I mean, not a single day I missed in the market, and in my own career it has moved by 530 times. And this is ex-dividend. If you make it include the dividend also, because the dividend comes to you 1.5% every year. It is hold your breath. It is more than 1,000 times. So I have no reason to believe that what has happened in last 40 years is not going to happen in next 40 years. But next 40 years का बोलेंगे तो आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा. मेरे को खुद को समझ में नहीं आएगा. I mean, if I say 1000x from here, then it works out like 5 million types, So I don't think we'll be able to connect with that. And that's why we thought, let's talk about something which we can connect. I mean, it is still very far. 10 years is a long period, I can tell you this. This 2 lakhs is looking to you very big, but 10 years is bigger, I can tell you this. 10 years is a long period in the history of, today's 35,000 crores market cap of AU can be, into few trillions, 3 to 5 trillion rupees, 3 से 5 lakh crore का market cap हो सकता है. So that is the kind of scale change in 10 years time. I think 13 years back, there were 100 crores market cap. I mean, at 100 crores, we did the deal in way back in 2007. Today, they are 35,000 crores. So this is the...
Sir, it's what 30 crore.
I didn't want to say that. I know, I didn't want to say that, but I said, just let me make it round sum. So what I'm saying is 13 years made it like, I don't know how many X, 1000X from 30 to 30,000 crores. So I'm just saying that what it means to be in 10 years, 10 prosperous years, what it will do. And what happens to you, AU, happens to India also in a smaller way. I mean, in a much bigger canvas. So that's what exactly I'm saying. See, this is not about whether I get right 2 lakhs or not. It is about the thought process, how to think about markets. Because you are buying the future. Stock market is not about the past. It's all about the future. So let's see some of the thought processes. I mean, you may agree, you may not agree. I mean, and at the end we have a Q&A where I would love to hear from people who have skepticism in whatever I am presenting. So prediction is dangerous. This Buffett said prediction is dangerous, especially of the future. So we have to be very careful that whatever we are talking, it's very forward looking. Everything is about next 10 years. So like Pandit, we are just talking. So nothing should be taken with a lot of precision. It is all approximate. And I don't have any special crystal ball gazing system. I have to look at with the lamp of my experience. What has happened to me in last 10 years, 15, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. That's my guiding principle for next 10 years. I don't have any special tool. So that has to be seen. So what has happened in India in last 10 years? In the world, actually, I would say what has happened to the world in last 10 years. See, the world is a very large place. We would have not been worried about the world if I was living in a village or in a country which is disconnected from the world. Now, world is completely become one village. So the world 10 years back was about $66 trillion GDP. Now it is upwards of $82, $83 trillion. And I can guarantee you in next 10 years, we will be at 125, 130 trillion. And in next 15, 20 years, we'll be at 160, 170 trillion. If nothing else, it will be faster. So the world is becoming very prosperous day by day, day by day. In that world, you are working. China has done the best. China has gone from 6 to 13 trillion in last 10 years. More like 14 trillions right now. So China has grown at 12%. We have done very well by growing at 7% dollar. And world has grown at 4%. So clearly, it's a rapidly prospering world in which India is also prospering, maybe not at the pace of China, but it is doing a good job. Now, can India be the next China? Most indicators are favorable. What happens is that every country, every company, every person gets a point of time, inflection point of time, and then it takes off. For say, if I just keep in the backdrop AU is coming to us and we funding them. Anybody would have funded them for sure. If not Motilal Oswal, somebody else would have funded. But that funding coming to them, that was the starting point. So the career was going for 15, 20 years, 12 years or 13 years at some pace with their limited resources. Suddenly you give the resources 10x or 15x, and then the competence is there. The company goes to different level. Then RBI gives them license. That gives them right to do a very different level of sophistication and size of the business. They literally walk into the world. Now, right now, they have the right to walk into Indian banking. The moment they prove themselves in Indian banking, they will become honorable member of the global banking. That's the opportunity they are starting. But these are all milestones in the history of any company. Same way for economy also. It took 60, just think of it. A 33 crore population country when it got independence in 47. Total GDP was $10 billion. 75,000 crores was the total GDP of this country. How poor it was. I think in 47, 99.5 or 99.9% people must have been below poverty line. That was the legacy given by British government to us. 350 million people below poverty line. What the hell will you do? There's nothing in that. It took 60 years for the country, 60 years to become a $1 trillion GDP in 2007-8. So the poor country slowly, they kept on crawling. Chinese war, Pakistani war, famine, and then nuclear war, and then currency crisis. What all we have not gone through. In 91, you were literally relegated to bankrupt country in the world. We had to send our gold for $60 million credit line. So it took 60 years. The next $1 trillion came in next 7 years. The third $1 trillion would have come in 5 years, but for the COVID. Fourth will come in 3 or 4 years. Just watch it. Fifth will come in 2 years. Seventh or eighth will come in just 1.5 years. China is doing almost $1 trillion every year now. 13, 14, 15, 17, like that. So why it is important? It's just a simple compounding. Why it is important? Important is because of this. When you are at $1,000 per capita in 2007-8, 900 is basic spend. like basic shelter, basic food, which has no corporate activity, no corporate profits in that. You go to village, I don't think there is any activity at all. They grow their stuff and eat themselves. So there is nobody to make profit. 100, just 10% is discretionary. When you go from $1,000 to $2,000, your basics remain at same level, but your discretionary go from 100 to 1,000. So what is the doubling of GDP? Linear growth gives you exponential opportunity. And this is what is the opportunity underlying for the businesses. And this is the, what you call, excitement in the stock market. When companies grow exponentially, they make exponential profits. And when they make exponential profit, stocks go up exponentially. And this is once in a lifetime opportunity. Once you become $15, $20 trillion, then you become 2-3% growth. Today we are not happy with 7% growth. We are not happy with 7% growth. When economy grows at 10%, there will be hundreds of companies which will grow at 30-40%. That's the power of this exponential consumption opportunity. Then associated with that is that linear growth, exponential opportunity. But for savings and investment, even bigger. In last 10 years, India saved about $7 trillion because savings is a accumulation. It's a stock. It's not a flow like GDP consumption and all. It is a stock. In next 10 years, we are going to save $13 to $14 trillion, depending on what is my rupee dollar parity. Now, this $14 trillion is going to come on top, sit on top of 7 of last 10 years, and uske pehle bhi 4-5 aur hoga, jo bhi 10 bhi hoga. So literally, your base is going to double in next 10 years, or maybe triple. I don't know how big it will be. So all the institutions of savings, first is biggest savings institutions, banks, all the banks, insurance companies, mutual fund, broking company. You see how they are flying. They're almost 40 to 43% of the index today. Okay, so savings institutions will do it. Then where do you invest the savings? The savings go into capital goods and construction, where infra boom is yet to happen. Somehow we have not been able to engineer an infra boom, which I hope in the name of COVID, it happens. It gets executed by government. So this is what is going to be the opportunity in next 10 years. Another thing is we have a fantastic democracy. India's, at times it is an obstacle also, but it is the largest democracy in the world, well-established federal structure. But what is most interesting for businesses, it's a truly one market of 1.4 billion people. And who knows better than AU Bank? You can deposit in Jaipur and you can draw in any part of the country without any problem, any cost. So one unified market, one income tax, one GST, one Aadhaar, one ration card, one mobile number, one bank account. So all sorts of things are becoming unified. One electric market. Can you believe this? The whole country, including Bangladesh and Nepal, you can sell electricity from Nepal, generate in Nepal, and use it in Kanyakumari at the same time. When you trade in IEX, you can buy 1 megawatt power anywhere in the country at a competitive rate. It's a one electricity market for a country of 3,000 gigawatt market. So it's a truly one market. And when it is one market, there's a tremendous benefit to the small entrepreneurs. One market along with one digital market. So internet is in any case one market, not only for India, it is one market for the whole world. So if you are good in something, you can reach anywhere without any taxation issues. You can reach anywhere. And internet is just going to enhance the power of one market, one simplified market into a huge opportunity. Demography, second largest population in the world and dominated by youth. 40% of the population is below 20. Average age is about 27, 28. So next 10, 15 years will actually show the strength of this demographics, provided we can use it. Here that in 2005, 69% of the households were below poverty line. In 2018, it became 43%. By 2030, it will be just about 15%. And if we grow 1% higher than 7%, it can be reduced to only 5-7%. Literally, country can be called free of the poverty by 2030, 2032, which is a huge achievement. in 47 you get independence, and by 2030-32 you have a zero people below poverty line. So I mean, what really matters is the people who are in upper middle class or higher income group. So 1 out of 4 households today consume. In 2030, 1 out of 2 households will consume. So the addressable opportunity for doing any kind of business is going to double in 10 years. It's crazy. Digitization. I think this is the biggest story which you don't get to hear from anywhere but very, very sophisticated countries. Japan, America, Europe, those countries you talk about digital capability. But thanks to our software exports capability, mathematical minds, whatever happened in Y2K, I think India emerged. As we were talking in the beginning, time comes for any country. This was the time for Indian software. In 2000, we were just about $3-4 billion exports. In 2021, we had done $165 billion of exports, and it is headed for 300 to 400 billion in next 3-4 years, 5 years. So, for your information, Saudi Arabia exports $130 billion of oil. Today, we think Saudi Arabia is large. I mean, they are richest guys in the world types. I mean, you can't counter Saudi Arabia. But software power of India is far bigger than Saudi Arabia's oil power. And it is going to become much bigger. Then you have 120 crore telecom subscribers. You have 45 crore smartphones. And they're all internet users. And the internet execution capability of this country, whether you look at Aadhaar card, whether you look at National Stock Exchange, there are a whole lot of national systems which are the scale which we are able to do it flawlessly. I mean, execution of Aadhaar and implementation of Aadhaar is crazy. In last 3-4 years you've done. This is not the characteristic of a poor country. This is possible in America, but not in a poor country like India. Dollar inflow in forex reserves. Another big crisis for India, in fact, that was a real low moment for India, was when India hit $4 billion of reserve in 91. We were literally bankrupt. 2 weeks of import cover we had. Today we have 20 months of import cover. If we don't export 1 penny, we can pay for our imports for 18 months. So this is what is going to change the landscape of bargaining power of Indian consumer, Indian banks in the global markets. Now RBI doesn't have to worry about the taper tantrum. They can use $100 billion to, the moment you say I have $100 billion, nobody wants to take the money from you. But when you say I won't be able to pay, then everybody wants to exit the gate. So with $610 billion and every week another $3, $4, $5 billion coming, I don't think this time taper tantrum will happen in 6 months' time. And when it happens, I think real strength will be that of India. This is the time when India will prove that, boss, now we have come of age. I mean, I hope it happens like that, but let's see. I mean, the event is right ahead of us. I think declining interest rates and inflation. Now the capital markets world over are interconnected. Everybody is looking for risk-adjusted return. And there is no return in Europe and America. You're talking about 1%, 0.5% and all. So there is no return per se. So whatever risk-adjusted you can give from here, 3-4%, you cannot handle the amount of money which is going to come. The moment your currency becomes stable and the world realizes that it is stable. I mean, it has to go through the event. It has to go through past 1 or 2 years. Then world will realize this is stable currency, and then they'll ask for lower risk-adjusted return. And global savings, which are running into, hundreds of trillions of dollars, they will start coming, and we don't need much. We need probably $100 or $200 billion a year. So now we have walked into superabundance of capital. This is a completely different era. And it is for the entrepreneurs to respond. Everybody, from government of India to entrepreneurs, because there are only 2 parties in this country. Either government absorbs the capital or private sector absorbs the capital. And if we don't absorb and we don't want to, so it's like saying that I come with money and tell Ramdev, why don't you go make your house? Here is the land, make a house. But sir, no, I can't make it. Then nothing can happen. I have to stand up, take the money from you and build a house. So I think this will start. This capital absorption in India will start. This capital formation cycle will start big time. And current account deficit, thanks to low oil prices, current account deficit also came down to literally surplus for some time. And the biggest added advantage is the most stable government after 30 years. See, I mean, we can find flaws with whatever policies they are pursuing here and there, but in aggregate, having a stable government is like having a stable management in a company. In a company, if you don't have a stable management, you know what happens. The chaos it creates and the companies, they go down. Like that, you can imagine the complexity of the nation. And this nation, which is 1.4 billion people, there is so many factions within the country. So having a solid, stable government is the biggest boon for this country. And what are our expectations of government? No business to doing business. This is part of the manifesto. Minimum government, maximum governance. And kick-start the growth. In fact, I hear whomsoever I talk to from Delhi, people who are close to the government, they say they have only one point agenda, that is growth. And in fact, they say, the last meeting I had 3-4 days back, my sense is they are more desperate for growth. Actually, we have given up on the growth. In the last 5 years, we are tired of talking about it. Now they're desperate to get the growth. So I don't know who's going to prevail. Either our pessimism or their desperation, you know. But don't fight the government, I'm telling you. एक बार उनके दिमाग में बैठ गया, ये बाबू लोग अपने हिसाब से काम करते हैं, but मतलब once they're hell bent on doing something, they can get Ram Temple done, they can get anything done. So what is the expectations from private sector? See, it can ताली दोनों हाथ से बजने वाली. And this country has to build by government as well as private sector. In fact, I would say mainly from private sector. So ethical corporate governance, that's the most important thing. I mean, we have suffered as a nation because of, and it's not about paying taxes. Of course, that you have to pay your taxes. But take care of all stakeholders, employees, customers, shareholders, lenders, government. I mean, when you take money from the bank, I mean, you have to be supremely responsible for repaying that. Government, community, you know, every aspect of has to be taken care of. But above all, you have to pay your taxes well, do the good bookkeeping. That is very, very important. Second, good capital allocation. See, one of the things, maybe because of the history, because we have the history of Raja and, you know, I mean, all kinds of kingdoms were part of India. It is part of our life. So everybody wants to create empire very quickly. See, creating empire is anybody's ambition, but not very quickly. Nothing can be built overnight. Because the moment you try to build an empire very quickly, you know, you compromise on the value system. You compromise on your processes. And avoid unhealthy business rivalry. This is another important thing. You know, because in any case, our fabric is very thin. Yahan par bhi, dekhiye, if you see the Michael Porter's 5 forces, what is most important is the incumbent competition among the incumbent. So when the competition becomes unethical or there is a rivalry, an unhealthy rivalry, you know, that industry gets destroyed. And along with that, it takes away, it takes down everything, the national energy, and banks go down the tube. Once banks go down the tube, then even because the bank's losses have to come from the budget, the entire nation building goes down the tube. So we have to be, I mean, actually corporate rivalry has to be very healthy. There has to be good competition, but not unhealthy competition. COVID is a temporary blip, beginning of the end. Here what we see is that it's a known beast now. Probably we have to learn to live with that. And my sense is that I'm not a doctor, but vaccination is here. In fact, there's a flood of vaccination. I think 3-4 days back, we demonstrated what is the capability of what Babus can do. 80 lakh vaccination happened one day. So I think we can clean up in 3-4 months if we put our head to that. So I think vaccination is going to be there. It will definitely ease out the current potential of third wave, if at all it is going to come. But so my sense, see, but what has COVID done to the world? Government, see, this is what was not expected. Even I didn't expect this. In February 2020, I was really panicked. I said, this is unprecedented. And a lot of my friends who were knowledgeable, they pulled out from the market. And they said, Ramdev, we are not market timers. but this time is different. And hence, we would like to save our money and be out of it. I said, साहब, आप लोग अपना पैसा ले जाओ, मैं तो जीना यहाँ, मरना यहाँ, मैं यहीं बैठ रहा हूँ. Okay, that's how I've done for last 40 years, and this time I'm not going to change. Every time the story is different, but this time also I'm not going to change. So I sat through. My own house collapsed right in front of me. Okay, we'll talk about it a little later. But the government response was completely unexpected. All over the world, coordinated fiscal gates have been opened. And biggest of all, central bankers just are printing 48/7. Not 24/7, 48/7. $120 billion by America, $120 billion by Europe, and God knows what is the number in China and Japan. So I think $350 to $400 billion per month. Machine is still on, $10 billion per day. So I think there are more money in the world than water in the ocean. That is a superabundance of capital right now. Now what happens is that Sanjay, you are asking about why the markets are jubilant. It is because of this. You have put so much of money.
Yeah.
So because of superabundance of capital, then there is a third guy. Government, monetary authority, and third is the market / speculator. So what market is doing or speculator is doing, boss, let me try $10 billion in, let's say, zinc price. Let me go to the zinc contract and buy all the zinc for $10 billion. Is there any action? He sees that in $10 billion, the zinc price goes up by 3% or 4%. He makes $1 billion or $2 billion. Then, the speculator will keep going from one place to other because there is so much of risk capital now. Achha. In any case, fixed income has collapsed world over. So all the money, one way or other, is a risk capital. And that is moving, and there is no borders. Whether it is Chinese money, it is hot money, cold money, black money, white money, it's just going from one place to other. If you go to New York, once your money is transferred out of India, it has no color. Only in India, we have color of black and white. Outside India, what is the color? In Dubai, there is no tax. In so many countries, there are no taxes. And who's bothered about what is the color? You go in suitcase and put money in Dubai. I think you have a white money out there. And you can remit it here as a FI. So what I'm saying is that there is a superabundance of capital. And you cannot, people cannot fathom how big is the pile of capital. And that is chasing every single asset which is mispriced. Okay. So India also went from 3.3% to 9.5% fiscal deficit, and we were pretty comfortable. Okay. And today also we are talking about 6.5%, 7% fiscal deficit. We are talking about 6%. We are trying to compress the bond yield despite we have 6% inflation. Has it ever happened in the history? Never. Now all the central bankers are giving a story that inflation is transitory and our yield will remain low because that suits them. That's what they want. They want the economy to recover. They want growth back. And then only they want to raise so they want the growth in the economy at the cost of the savers. Who's going to pay the price? If I put 100 crores at 1% instead of 5%, I am paying 4 crores liability every year. No? So basically the government and the bankers, they want savers to pay for the recovery. So, and what will happen is, I expect a very strong recovery, but it will be very strong K-shaped recovery. Because a lot of guys have fallen by the wayside. And a lot of them will be SMEs and mid and small sizes. And more importantly, the ones who are financially weak before COVID. And or the nature of business is such that it just doesn't allow them to do business during COVID, like travel, tourism, or restaurants, small restaurants. And 1 or 2 5-star hotels have been put on the block. They have no business. So clearly, a lot of marginal players in many fields will just go away, at least for some time. But the economy will come back like a spring because there's so much of liquidity. And that, say, even 20% goes away, goes silent. 80% remaining companies will have 25% growth only out of their brothers and sisters market share. And then on top of it, whatever normal. So I would think bigger companies will become bigger, stronger will become very strong. That's going to be the game. So why we say Sensex can hit 2 lakhs in 10 years? It is asking rate is just about 15% compounded. In last 10 years, let's look at last 10 years what happened. It was 20,000 index in 2010 and it is 50,000 at the end of 21. So it's just about 10% compounded last 10 years. In 41 years, since I'm in the market, the index has done from 100 to 52,000. 15.6% is the compounded growth rate in last 40 years. This has been this we call it base rate. The base rate, at what rate it is going. And in real life, the rates are either higher or lower, but this is a straight line base rate of 15%. So if you, another way to look at it is, let's look at decadal breakup of this performance. So 80 to 90, it was 20% compounded. 90 to 2000, it is 20%. 2000, 2010, because in 2000 it was very high. Y2K boom was there. So post that, in next 10 years, you did 13%. And this one has been, I would say, very slow at 10%. Now, there are 3 scenarios that generally, so 20 to 30 could be at 10%. Then we go from 50,000 to 1,30,000. That could be the pessimistic scenario. If we do 15%, then we are talking about 2,02,000. And if we really are, there is a good chance that we could do 20% also. Good chance, I'm telling you. I would not call it even 5-10%. There is a 15-20%, but there is no point in talking about that. The people will stop listening to me. So I want people to really get the sense of what I'm saying. And the whole idea is not about being right or wrong. I'm just giving the direction in which, if you take the average of 3, still it comes to 200,000. So we are talking about 7% kind of GDP, real GDP, and 5% to 6% of inflation. Inflation will remain very high because so much of money is there, so much of capital is chasing. My sense is in India, inflation will be quite elevated. And we are the guys who have grown with high inflation. So I think we will love it. So I think nominal GDP growth will be 12%, 30%, and corporate profits will go slightly higher than GDP growth rate. And hence, market growth broadly will be in line with the corporate profits. And in any case, corporate profit GDP is running way below the long-term average. And that's why in last 10 years, markets are not done well. So as the corporate profit to GDP goes from 3% to 6%, US corporate profit to GDP is now 12, 13%. So we have to be at least half. And once that happens, getting 15% corporate profit growth is not very difficult. And that gives me doubler, 2 times doubler in first 5 years, and then double of double. So that gives me 4 times. So my 50,000 crores, 50,000 index has a good chance to become around 2 lakhs. And we have tried to, this is how it is going to happen. This is not a exact science, but it is not going to happen in straight line. It is just some kind of imaginary. It will go with a lot of small cuts and then big cut. But before the big cut, you will have a big rise. But finally, it will achieve that destination of 2 lakhs. So one must not think there won't be corrections. Corrections could be tomorrow morning. I don't have any idea of what is going to happen in next 1 year or 2 years. The big corrections will happen only if there is a big rise. Small corrections will happen only if there is a small rise. So I have seen in my life 4 deep corrections. That is the biggest degree I have. Apart from CA, this is the biggest degree I have. That I have seen 4 corrections in the market. I am telling you, Sanjay, going through 4 corrections with your live portfolio is a life and 4 death situations.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir. Absolutely.
So I'll tell you in 1 minute the story. In 87, I started my career.
Yes, sir.
We had no money. Like 2 students from hostel, CA degree and equity research degree ki bhai, humko ye samajh mein aata hai baja kya hai. And no professionals. We are first 3-4 CAs in the market. Can you believe this? First 2-3 chartered accountants. 87. And when I started, in 87, there were no books, no magazines, no internet, no blogs. You have to learn it on yourself.
Correct.
And even in CA, though we understood accounting and all very well. We knew how, but actually in stock market, there were 4 pages in Shukla Gariwal. That's it. Nothing else was there. So there was no literature to learn from. You have to learn only by experience. Anyway, journey started in 1990. Whatever little we have saved, 10 to 50 lakhs, we used that for buying the Motilal Oswal membership in his stocks. The moment we opened the door, the Harsha Mehta bull run happened. From literally nothing, we made 30 crores in 18 months. And no speculation. In 92, we had 30 crores. And then it collapsed. It had to collapse because it had gone up by 7 times. It collapsed. Literally, it goes up by 5-6 times and it collapses by 50%. That's the rule of thumb. So it will grow by 6 times and 3 times is free. The last 3 times is free. So 100 will become 600. 600 will collapse to 300. So that last 300 to 600 is a fool's paradise. So our 30 became 10. We were very happy. 10 crores is a lot of money for 2 students from the school. And we said, now nobody can throw us out. We'll buy our office, our home. And till then also we didn't have car. So we started establishing ourselves. And then we worked very hard. And in next 7 years, again Y2K boom happened. We became 100 crores. On 1/1/2001, I had 100 crores portfolio. Okay. And I had heard about Buffett in 95. So I had started going to Omaha. So I was very clear that this damn thing is going to collapse. And I had become a little smarter by that time. So it happened right in front of me. The 100 became 30 again. 100 became 30. I said, yeah, this is very painful. And for 5-6 months, I was feeling very bad. कि यार ये बहुत गंदे धंधे में आ गए हम लोग. लेकिन ये ख्याल रखिए शेयर बाजार में जो आदमी 10 साल रह गया ना, he is good for nothing. I mean, he is actually negative. Beyond stock market, he is nothing. So we said we can't do anything. We have to be here only. We worked very hard, and then we saw the mother of all the bull run. That was 2003 to 2008. Our portfolio grew from 30 crores to 550 crores. And Motilal Oswal became 100x. From 10 crores to 1000 crores turnover. So, हर चीज का टाइम आता है.
Correct.
तो फिर 2008 में फिर कोलैप्स हुआ. Again 550 became 225. Okay. That 225 in 2020 February became 1850. And this is separate from the company. Company is separate. This is, I'm talking about private savings. And that 1850, I was there in February in Calcutta. And I was telling the guys, कि boss, ऐसा लगता चौथा बुलावा आ गया. I mean, I had no clue about the COVID. I think it is end of February sometime. अच्छा 12 तारीख को all time high हुआ था बाजार 12 फरवरी. And next 30 days, मेरी जबान लग गई मेरे खुद के पोर्टफोलियो. 24 मार्च 22 से 24 मार्च को I made a bottom up 1150 crores this thing. So I lost 700 to 800 crores in those 30 days. So अब तो हम बोले कि जब तक आंख खुली तब तक तो मालूम पड़ा कि चौथा तूफान भी आके निकल गया. Okay, now it has the portfolio has cost 2100 in just one year. So what I'm saying is this: when you have the large rise, you have large cuts. When you have a small rise, you will have a small one, and the big ones come after 5, 6, 7, 10 years. So we have हम लोग का what is that quarantine अभी भी हुआ है last year. हमारा portfolio quarantine last year हुआ है अभी it is good for 7-8 years. I'm telling you. You will see multiple X rise. I'm just telling you from my experience. And we could be in for a bigger bull run than 2003 to 2008. Because the abundance of liquidity is so big, it's not funny. And India's preparedness to grow and desperation, this China has opened the eyes of this government. That was, you cannot stand up to them, whether it is Ladakh border or anywhere. You are outcasted by 1:5 in disparate expenditure. You barely spend $40-50 billion. They spend $500 billion, $500 billion. क्या खड़ा रहोगे आप वहां पर? अच्छा, नंबर्स में आप भी मैच नहीं कर सकते. नंबर आपके पास है, चाइना के पास भी नंबर, वो भी 10 लाख आदमी खड़ा कर रहे हैं बॉर्डर पे. आप 15 लाख खड़ा करो और क्या करोगे? But how do you match the firepower on naval, aircraft, in every aspect of it? You cannot. And for that, you need growth. When economy starts going at 8-9%, then the world will flock into India. And that they've realized. But it's not easy. It is one thing to dream, but yet different to execute on this scale. And right now we are passing through COVID. So I remain very optimistic in the days to come. Conditions are perfect, I'm telling you. You have China plus opportunity. You have a tremendous amount of forex, which is one of the most important thing for any country. We have 5 years of continuous good rains. So our coffers are full, granaries are full, forex reserve is full, corporate balance sheets are deleveraged. They're good. Even PSU banks are clean. I mean, they're provided 80-90%. So their balance sheets are also ready to expand. And private sector, 4 or 5 very large banks are there. Very large banks. So I think सब तरह से तैयारी है. अब बारात निकलने वाली बात बस.
Amazing. Amazing, sir.
So sectors to watch out. ठीक है भाई. अब इतना बड़ा तूफान होने वाला तो क्या करें? So see, there is a concept called value migration. ये क्या है? Value migration क्या होता है? ये पुस्तक जो है, ये बहुत छोटी पुस्तक है. आप खरीदें और 30 पेज पढ़ लें. First 30 page, if you don't get it, throw it. Either you get it or you will not get it. I'm telling you. But this is the biggest. I mean, I have made maximum money out of this particular book. Value in a business doesn't stay at one place. It migrates from outdated business model to new superior business design. Now, what is the example? From a wired phone, wireless phone. From in IT, it's not that Americans don't know coding. They only have taught us coding. From Boston to Bengaluru. In Boston, it costs $70 per hour to code. In India, it costs $7 to code. तो गंगा तो सीधी बहेगी ना भाई. गंगा सीधी बहेगी, ये ख्याल रखिए आप. Third, banks from public sector to private sector. संजय बाबू किस तरह जाएगा? प्राइवेट सेक्टर पब्लिक सेक्टर जाएगा, पब्लिक सेक्टर से प्राइवेट सेक्टर जाएगा. आप सोच लो आप.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and in private sector also, let me tell you now, there is a third level of this is the first level which is on right now, and the next level is in private sector, from conventional private sector to digital private sector. Is bound to happen, and the new ones will grow multiple times faster than the old ones. Okay, and there are many businesses from unorganized to organized. There are 1,000 pipe making companies. You will find 20-30 growing. We have 1,000 brokers. Now there are not more than 20-25 brokers left, and the market has grown how big? Sanjay, in 87, the total turnover of BSE was 2,000 crores per day. Guess what is the turnover today? Like on Thursday, yesterday, how much was the turnover in NSE, BSE combined?
So I don't have any view, so I'm sorry, but as per your calculation, must be 1,000 times now.
करिए बोलिए आप, बोलते जाइए, मैं आपको इंटरव्यू लेता हूँ.
1 लाख करोड़.
86 lakh crores yesterday.
क्या बोल रहे हैं सर?
बोलता ना आपको.
86 lakh crore a day.
A day. Motilal Oswal used to do 1 crore or 2 daily turnover in 87. Today we do 75,000 crores. Daily. Zerodha and all, they do 4.5-5 lakh crores. Open सबका account करो आप, फटाफट account करो सबका. This is the biggest game in town. You have to think very seriously. I am telling all these numbers because all the AU employees are also here. They must get where is the money, you know. So this is very powerful concept. Very powerful.
Correct.
You have to go where the puck is going to be. See, आप देखते हैं, आप फुटबॉल देखते हैं. फुटबॉल में जब वो सामने से लेफ्ट विंगर जो है ना, वो बिना देखे राइट में क्रॉस करता है बॉल. The right winger has to be there.
Correct.
To connect the ball and hit into the goal.
Yes.
The goalkeeper doesn't know where the hell it is going to be hit. This is what happens in real business. Value migration is that.
Correct.
And we as investor, we have to be the right winger, hoping that ball is going to come.
Correct.
So IT, you know, in last 20 years, from literally nothing to it has become a global powerhouse. The way China today dominates the manufacturing, we dominate the coding, the software design, software execution. This is the heart of the companies. American companies live off this. I mean, you know, Sanjay, the software you're using in your bank is as sophisticated or more sophisticated than the software used by American banks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, you are state of the art.
Correct.
This is the biggest opportunity for a new guy to get state of the art. You know,
Correct.
otherwise Citibank, JP Morgan, Goldman, they will have the better software. अब ये बात नहीं रह गई, thanks to Indian IT.
Correct.
प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंकिंग, आप देखिए क्या हुआ है. प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक्स, पैट, you know, all the profit has gone to private sector. All the losses are with the public sector. And look at the market caps mix. 80% of the market cap is with private sector. Public sector reduced to nothing. Though they still have 60% of the deposits. Cumulative 60% of deposits, cumulative 60% of advance. So the shift of the market share is going to be the fastest in the next 10 years. From 1/3 to 1/3, it will become 2/3, 1/3. Now the chunks will move. It's not going to be small now. Now chunks, 3%, 4% of the large market share will shift, growing market share will shift to the private sector. The issue is, do you have an architecture of private sector which can absorb that shift? You know, today, why we have problems in some of the private sector banks are restricted from doing business? Because the spike in the business is so big that even they are not able to handle.
Infra is not there, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing is happening in insurance, public sector to private sector. One LIC is losing market share of 1%. They're very good. They're very large, very dominant. But they are losing market share. So open up, please. See, what happens is sectors can be classified in two types. See, what happens is in this COVID time, there are two types of demand lost. One, which is daily flow consumption, say like, say liquor industry. So liquor demand would have gone down, or FMCG demand would have gone down. They might come back. But what is the lost consumption in 2 years? That can never come back. But there is a durable demand, which is a postponed demand. आपने कार नहीं खरीदी 2 साल पहले, आप 2 साल के बाद बहुत जल्दी से जाकर कार खरीदें. So there will be bunching up of demand, opening up trade will happen. But market treats, the moment your P&L is broken, market treats both kind of companies in the same brush. So there is an opportunity. That's why you see in the month of, this is June, in July, August, July, they are saying India will produce history's largest number of cars in the very first month of recovery. Because all the pent-up demand will be met in next 3-4 months. So I think, and also some of the businesses are so unfortunate. Despite their wonderful businesses, they have suffered in this COVID time. So this is a great opportunity to build portfolio and align your portfolio with the businesses, some extent who are impacted and who are mispriced at this point of time. So what are the risks? One is the risk of inflation, and this is real. Whatever Powell or anybody is saying, if you print too much of money, the price of the things don't go up. Price of money itself comes down. You know, so price of money is coming down, and hence the way the world expresses is that rupee remains rupee, dollar remains dollar. What happens is the price of the houses, price of the stocks, price of the commodities, they start moving up. But basically, the printing of money, and it's still on. As we are talking, still it is not stopped. And they are saying that till 23, forget about next 1 year, for next 1.5 years, they'll keep printing. I think this world is going to teach them. That will force the hands of central bankers in terms of inflation only can teach them, because they can control the liquidity. They can control the even cost of liquidity, but they cannot control the inflation. That is a genie out of the box. So that is the only Guruji who jo inko theek karne wala. So you keep watching for the inflation. Now inflation has also come, but nobody wants. They are telling you that this inflation is not permanent. So now inflation from 5% will go to 7-8%. Then they will be scared. You know, I mean, there is a chance that we could be in for a. I mean, मेरा डर लगता है बोलने में, but जाने दो. मतलब like we could be in for a big surprise here.
Okay.
Global shocks, you know, like a global financial crisis kind of thing. See क्या है, देखिए आप कोई तालाब में बड़ा पत्थर मारोगे तो बड़ा उसका उफान आएगा. तो इन्होंने ये कोविड में जो है ना, इन्होंने बहुत बड़ा पूरा चट्टान का चट्टान डाल दिया, पूरा हिमालय पर्वत डाल दिया उसको समुद्र में, तो उसका जो इम्पैक्ट तो आने वाला बॉस, कहीं कहीं तो उसका रिपल दिखेगा। कहाँ सुनामी आएगी नहीं मालूम, ये सुनामी आएगी पक्का। what will be the shape of tsunami, and it will be financial tsunami. So मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि first it will rise like relentlessly and then it will collapse. Then completely unpredictable event like third or fourth wave takes off or some other complicated thing comes. So that something which we cannot visualize. And then political risk. This country, not able to hold the current political setup, but I have seen markets are beyond the even politics. I mean, we have seen the best of the markets when we have worst of the government. So I would not take that. But inflation today, in what shape, in what form, in what intensity it will come, and how it will hurt us, ये समझने का बहुत जरूरी है। मेरे को समझ नहीं आता इतना मैक्रो, but I mean, I'm not very comfortable here. So how do you make money in the stock market? It's a very powerful mantra. You need to have vision because you're buying the future. So you have to try to see the future of the business you're buying. Second, when you see that, okay, ये बैंक अच्छा करने वाला है, AU अच्छा करने वाला है, या कोई भी एक एंटिटी अच्छा करने वाला है, you should have courage to buy. But most important is you should have the courage to hold it. Patience is the most important one in any walk of life. So who makes money finally? The owner of the company. Because उस बेचारे को कोई चांस ही नहीं, वो तो कहाँ भागे, खराब है तो भी वहीं बैठा रहेगा, गर्मी में सर्दी में वहीं बैठा रहता है. That's why he makes money. But हमारे जैसे होशियार लोग जो है वो खराब टाइम आता है तो उसके पहले भाग जाते. We are fair weather friends as investors, so we don't make money. And so patience is the most important thing in the stock market. And when you need patience, not when market is rising, you need patience when market is doing badly. मैं कल जॉन बॉगल का कोई इंटरव्यू सुन रहा था, old, he's passed away. He's one of the greatest guy. What he has done for the investing, nobody, Buffett plus मंजर सब मिला के जितना नहीं किया है उस एक बुड्ढे ने किया है, जॉन बॉगल. सो जो पैसिव इन्वेस्टिंग की बात किया, उसने बोला नेवर 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 गो आउट ऑफ द मार्केट. यू डोंट नो व्हाट द हेल मार्केट इज गोइंग टू डू. ये जितने पंडित लोग बैठे हैं सब गधे हैं. डोंट एवर गो आउट ऑफ द मार्केट. ही सेड इफ यू फील वेरी अनकंफर्टेबल, गो, मतलब कट योर एक्सपोजर टू बाय 25, 30, 40%. बट ही इज सेइंग you must move your allocation between 25 to 75. When you feel very fearful, still you should be having your foot with 25% allocation. 100 crore है, 25 crore का डेफिनेटली आप शेयर रखें. और बहुत मंदी लगता है, बहुत खराब लगता है, दुनिया डूबती हुई जाती है, तभी पूरा 75% आप शेयर बाजार में डालें. बट वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, बोलने का इजी है, करने का बहुत मुश्किल है, क्योंकि तेजी में तेजी लगता है, मंदी में मंदी लगता है. अभी तेजी से यार हम आपको भाषण देने आए हैं, मंदी में दिखेंगे भी नहीं, समझे ना. बस so conclusion, India is the ultimate next $1 trillion opportunity, and this is once in a lifetime for any country, I believe. China is well beyond that, and we have seen what has happened to China in 20 years. There is a great opportunity for India can repeat. Whether it will repeat or not, it's a matter of chance. यदि repeat करेगा तो ये सब 2 लाख वालों कोई मतलब ही नहीं. Key indicators are very favorable. COVID is a temporary blip, hopefully. Sensex can hit, don't take it for granted, but it can hit. And play with the value migration opportunities, and don't bet against India. Be optimistic, have a lot of patience. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ramdev sir. For me, it is always so great to listen to you with so much of passion. I hope AU and the entire team listening here, can build that kind of passion and commitment to their own professional career, right? And I'm seeing you like this from last 12, 13 years. So, when we used to talk about AU in 2008, you always used to say that, have patience for 10 years. You will surpass every PSU bank in this country. So, and that time me and Uttam always talk to each other that, sir to sir hain, kamre mein kuch bhi bol dete hain, apan to bahar chal ke kuch kaam karte hain. So, but your presentation was spot on, sir, and I hope Rishi, your team and our customers would have listened it, would have gained some knowledge around it, and would have charged it, because this is a pandemic time. So not wasting too much time of sir, because already sir has given us more time than promised. So can we have Q&A? Rishi, I don't know who has to handle it so that boss can reply.
Yeah, Sanjay. So there is a question by Mr. Hemant Gupta from Punjab. He's actually asked how to check quality of management.
Very good question and very difficult to answer, but I'll try my best. When we go for, what I do, I look, see, the moment I see that this guy is good in whatever he's doing. Okay, so first is the check on competence.
Yeah.
Because that attracts you. But this guy is a magician. Whatever he's doing fabulous. So that attracts. Immediately I check his integrity. In fact, I start with the integrity. If somebody tells me he is a very honest guy, very dependable guy, and very good in his profession, when I get this kind of recommendation, then I start the work. So you need the integrity, you need the competence, you need the passion, you need the integrity. When you have this triangle, you are done. Check the integrity of the guy and check the competence of the guy. यदि ईमानदार है लेकिन गधा है, कोई फायदा नहीं, कुछ नहीं हो सकता उसका. उसका क्या, आपको कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Okay. So there can be a situation where he is ईमानदार, ये तो एकदम नॉन निगोशिएबल, ईमानदारी तो एकदम नॉन निगोशिएबल, क्योंकि बेईमानों के साथ में आप तो सिर्फ नरक जाने वाले. तो ईमानदारी तो बहुत जरूरी है. ईमानदारी प्लस कॉम्पिटेंस प्लस पैशन. भाई उसको आगे कमाने, आज तक जो काम किया उसको तो हम पूरा भाव दे ही रहे हैं. आगे कितना बड़ा काम करेगा. संजय, ये आपके लिए मैसेज है.
सर ऑलरेडी सर 13 years सर.
अरे ऐसा मत बोलो भाई.
नो सर,
क्या है सर?
चलो अजय गुप्ता जी ने पूछा है पंजाब से.
हाँ, पंजाब से बोलो. क्या है कि नो क्राइटेरिया, तो ये फर्स्ट 2 क्राइटेरिया में तो दे गेट 100 out of 100. थर्ड यू हैव टू जज कितना गर्मी बाकी है इसके अंदर, बंदे के अंदर. दैट्स व्हाई वी वांट टू मीट हेड ऑन. आई मीन फेस ऑन फेस. उसको 1 घंटा उसका खाना खाएंगे, उसका चाय पिएंगे, उसके यहाँ जाके मस्ती बैठे रहेंगे, यहाँ बैठेंगे, वहां बैठेंगे, उसके ऑफिस देखेंगे, उसका घर देखेंगे, उसका सब कुछ देखेंगे. वी वांट टू फिगर आउट हाउ पैशनेट ही इज अबाउट द बिजनेस इन द लाइफ. क्योंकि जिसमें पैशन नहीं है वो आपके लिए कुछ नहीं कर सकता. So that is how we check it. I mean, it is for everybody to figure out how to check their own, goodness, but integrity is beyond doubt.
Correct.
Thank you, sir. There's another question that what is the biggest challenge for market to hit 2 lakh and what is the biggest challenge for India nation to achieve its economical targets? So I think you've covered a large part of it, but maybe if you would want to talk a little more about this one.
Yeah. So the biggest biggest danger of this story not happening is that India itself not happening. This is nothing but celebration of India's story. But if India doesn't celebrate itself, if we go down the tube, I mean, the sense that there are a lot of failed story in emerging market also. It just doesn't happen. So if we, for some reason, as a country, instead of expectation of growth of 6-7%, we start growing at 1%, 2%, we start stagnating, or 2% growth, 3% growth, and 6-7% inflation, 8% inflation. See, what happens is that when the politics come on the way, it's a democracy. So government's actions are dependent on how popular he is in the elections. And this is a country with every year election. So they have to balance between populist measure and developmental measure. लेकिन कोई कारण से by chance वो पलड़ा उल्टा हो गया, and so because there are a lot of see, it's a Lollapalooza thing in the sense that many factors have to come together for a person to be successful, for a company to be successful, and for the nation to be successful. Everything has to come together, hundreds and thousands of things. So if by chance हमने 4-6 चीज लिखी है, उसके आगे भी 1000 चीजें, मान लो कोई कारण से स्टोरी नहीं बनी, तो जयराम जी, पूरा का पूरा कहानी गलत है।
Thank you, sir. One interesting question is, do you think India is fit enough to lead the world? That's, I think, related to what you answered just now.
ये दुनिया जो है ना, जिसकी लाठी उसकी भैंस है, ठीक है ना। यदि आप अमेरिका हो, आपका 25-22 ट्रिलियन डॉलर का जीडीपी है, तो आप ही राजा हो, सारी दुनिया आपके लिए काम करती है, समझे ना। आज चाइना डर क्यों रहा है कि चाइना पीछे से आ रहा है, 15-16 तक पहुंच गया है, 5-6 साल में वो हो जाएगा 22-25 बिलियन डॉलर, जितना वहां पर अमेरिका है। तो भैया, मैं तो इफ आई एम मेकिंग समथिंग, आई हैव नाउ 2 guys टू लुक इनटू, whether should I send the stuff to America or should I send it to China. They don't want that. They want the unipolar world. They want to be king of the world, but their kingdom is under threat. इंडिया तो बहुत पीछे है, हम तो 3 ट्रिलियन डॉलर है, वी आर नथिंग, वी आर नथिंग। सो ये बात तो तब आएगी जब हम कुछ बन जाएंगे, पर वो हमारे लाइफ टाइम में नहीं होने वाला, बहुत लंबा समय
उसका। सर आज ऋषि बहुत अच्छी फॉर्म में है, पूछो बहुत सारी बातें। सर इज इन
Yeah.
ऑफ हिज फॉर्म टुडे। अनप्लग्ड है आज।
तो संजय सर बोलते हैं ना कि मतलब बात करते करते फिर अंडा निकलता है। आज 100% इज दैट मोड सर। ग्रेट सर।
आज वो
दोनों बैठे रहे थे, उत्तम मेरा संजय इन रामबाग पहले रात को।
Yes, back on it, sir. Yes, sir. Great, sir.
Rishi, go ahead.
Sir, one very interesting question. So, if we do all the research on one stock, let's say Reliance Industries, and everything is good, technical analysis, profit, market indicator, then you bought the share now, and if something happens to the promoter, let's say Corona, and what about the management and company? What happens to, where, there is a large dependence. I think the question is, if there is a large dependence on the promoter, then what should be the view of an investor in such a case?
Yeah, so, एक और चीज होती है आपकी खुद की किस्मत। अभी किसी को सोना का रहेगा अभी, तो अभी क्या पोर्टफोलियो, सी दिस इज वेयर डाइवर्सिफिकेशन वर्क्स। डोंट बाय ओनली स्टॉक, बाय 10, 15, 20 स्टॉक्स। सो 5-5 रुपए सबको दे के रखो, तो उसमें क्या है, आपको कोरोना वाला भी मिलेगा, कैंसर वाला भी मिलेगा, सब लोग मिलेंगे। तो उसमें क्या होगा, सी वन ऑफ द फंड व्हाई वी मेक मनी इन स्टॉक मार्केट, बिकॉज डाउन साइड इज 1x, इट्स अ लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी गेम। When you buy something for 2,000 rupees, you can only lose 2,000 rupees. But you have put only 5% of your portfolio. So you can lose only 5%. But there is another company. Say there are only 2 companies. One, आपने 200 रुपए का पोर्टफोलियो है, 100 रुपए आपने डाला, वो 0 हो गया, तो आपने कितना लॉस हो गया, 100 रुपए। लेकिन जो दूसरा जो है 100 रुपया, जहां पर आपकी किस्मत पॉजिटिव है, वो 10 गुना हो गया या 1000 गुना हो गया। Then see, upside is unlimited. Infosys is up 6,000 times. But ऐसा नहीं है हर चीज Infosys है। But what I'm saying is, see, nothing goes to 0, but your downside is limited. So it's a asymmetric payoff. And why we are saying that, why you have to buy good companies? Because only good companies goes up, not the bad companies. Bad companies go to the hell. So never buy bad companies. So that's where the skill comes. कि भाई आप अपने कौन से अच्छी कंपनी खरीदे हैं, कितने खरीदे हैं, and what is the allocation. So it looks very simple, but there is a lot of effort in building a portfolio.
So, sir, related question, and I'll ask 2 questions together, in fact, because I'm sure people would want to get some inputs from you. Indian market is trading at expensive valuations when we compare it with historical levels. How should investors approach the markets at these levels? It's a very genuine question. Everybody feels कि अभी तो बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ा हुआ है, and that is a very common question in the market. And the other is that in some meeting you would have recommended Page Industries at 600. do you have any recommendations for investors at this time?
The second question is answered. I have no recommendation. Okay. Now the first
Yeah.
one. What is the first question?
The market is trading at expensive valuations compared to historical levels. So what should be the investor's approach to markets at these levels?
You are not buying the markets. You are buying the stocks. Okay. So there are, see, you have to buy 5, 7, 10 stocks. Okay. First thing is, in the market, don't do anything till you understand. आपको समझ में नहीं आता है, आपको बहुत महंगा लगता है, मुंबई में रियल एस्टेट बहुत महंगा है, तो नहीं खरीदने का वहां पर, जयपुर में खरीदने, लेकिन आप जयपुर में रहोगे फिर समय ना, फिर मुंबई नहीं रह सकते आप. So if you don't understand the underlying valuation, price तो सबको मालूम है, so don't buy anything. But always in a even inflated market, there are always opportunities. Yes, opportunities will be less, but never quit the market. Stay in the market as much as you understand. So यदि आपको बहुत महंगा लग रहा है तो भी आप 25% आप खरीदें, 100 रुपए में से 25% खरीदें, गंदे से गंदा स्टॉक खरीदें, लेकिन खरीदें आप. And take the tuition fee, pay the tuition fees. You will learn. This is such a, I'm telling you, my experience is, if you don't buy junk, you will have to put extra effort to lose money. And don't speculate.
Yes.
My request is, most of the guys who are asking questions, they are speculators. They are not investors. So if you are an investor, you cannot lose money. But if you are coming for price change, कि भैया मैं आज खरीदा 100 रुपए में, मेरे को बस 125 रुपए का भाव करो, चाहे उसको घर में आग लग जाए, लेकिन मेरा भाव 125 रुपए, that is not investment, that is speculation.
Yeah.
Are we done?
Yeah, Rishi.
One more, sir. I'll take one last question.
Yeah.
With valuation of quality shares so high already, I think it's already related to what you answered.
Yeah.
And participation so high, can a middle class youngster expect wealth creation like your generation experienced?
It will be faster. It will be faster for you. I can tell you this. Because see, the world is becoming faster. World is becoming far more prosperous. आज के दिन में आप देखिए कितने डिजिटल कंपनीज हैं. They become $1 billion, $2 billion. I mean, say Zomato is 60,000 crores company. How old is this company? 12 years.
Yeah.
अब AU को पसीना निकल गया बनाते बनाते हाथ, 25 साल लग गए, यहाँ तक पहुंचे ना. वो 12 साल में 60,000 करोड़ का मार्केट किया और खुलेगा 1 लाख करोड़, ऐसा हालत है. तो क्या है, things are much faster in digital age. It's a fraction-free capitalism. The point is whether you buy the right stock at right point of time. ये आपकी क्या समझ है? आप किस्मत, थोड़ी बहुत किस्मत भी लगती है बाजार में. That idea walks into your lap.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. I mean, it has been a very, very enriching session. I have a long list of questions and people are still posting, but we've taken a lot of your time. And I'm sure that people will have big takeaways to really think of the India story as all of us are working to build it, and look at investing also. The key takeaway to be a long-term investment horizon that people should build, and they can see wealth creation in their lifetimes, as what you have so openly shared with everybody, and the wealth creation study that is the marquee report that one really awaits at the end of every year. So thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us and taking the questions of our customers as well as our employees. I would request Uttamji to give the vote of thanks for this session today.
Yeah. Thank you, Rishi. I think no thanks can be big enough for Ramdev sir as our mentor to close this. But really, sir, indeed it was a powerful and very energyful, insightful session, sir. I think your optimism is always, I think, more contagious than COVID, sir. And it's incurable, sir. Your energy is incurable, sir. I must say that. Every time I hear you from 2008, I get so energized. Your optimism is great, sir. I think you have a very uncanny knack. So how you look at the future with so perspective that most of us, we can't think of, sir. So really, it's been blessed to be with you, to hear you and under your mentorship, sir, and got an investment from you in 2008. Really blessed. I think आपने बोलता ना सर कि किस्मत भी होती है. So I think we kismat let us there, sir. And as you said that we'll try to become a banyan tree, sir, which lasts for centuries. 100 साल 2 साल, sir, will not let you down. क्योंकि sir जैसे आपने बोला कि you have to be there in stock market. For us now have to be in financial market, in banking. जीना यहाँ मरना यहाँ, sir. हमें भी यही करना है सर जीवन भर, sir. So thank you so much, sir. On that note, formally on behalf of entire AU team, bank team, sir, I express my sincere gratitude, sir, for this thought-provoking insight on Indian economy and way forward. And I would also like to thank our esteemed, valued customers who took time and to join this session. And I hope they must have enjoyed and got the perspective on Indian economy. And we assure them that in coming times, we'll arrange many more such insightful interactions in future, sir. And in the last, I would like to thank entire my colleagues, my AU senior team to be there. And thanks, Sanjay, for bringing us here. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And we would like to get contagious with your optimism and this incurable energy, sir. Thank you, sir. Highly obliged, sir. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Sir, this is part one, and I'm really sorry for a lot of people who would have want to ask questions, but I can only guarantee you that sir is available anytime when we feel that we require that contagious optimism. So, sir, this is only part one. So I hope Rishi and the team can bring you back and make everybody lighten around the whole thought process. So thank you so much from my side.
Sanjay, we will do 7 more sessions.
Yeah.
On every 25,000 Sensex hitting the 75, 100, 125. Every time it hits 25,000, we'll do a session.
This is fabulous. This is fabulous milestone.
This is fabulous, sir. This is fantastic.
This is fantastic. Right. So thank you so much, sir. Enjoy the where are you in Lonavala, right? So enjoy the place, sir. So thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you, sir. And thanks to entire MO team.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks to the entire MO team.